them. So you can see that these axon and dendroids connections, it helps the neuron to transmit or relay information from one neuron to other. As we were talking about how this, we have already told you about the stimuli and response. Can anybody tell me what is stimuli and what is response with an example? Ansar, what happened to Arbaz? Why Arbaz is not joining? Mujtaba, Mustaba also, please call them all.
Okay, teacher.
So can anybody tell me what is response and stimuli? We have talked about it. So right answer by Umesh. It is, he has put it in the chat box. I did not ask about nephron, Alina. I was asking about response and stimuli. So a stimuli is something which causes response. And we have even taken an examples like how does sunlight and the plants, plant grow in the direction of sunlight, because sunlight is giving some response, stimuli, and the plant is responding to it. So now let us see how it happens. Supposing if we are holding a stick and that there is a coordination between eye and finger, okay? So different pathways are taken by the nerves to bring this. On this basis of the pathways, nerves are classified mainly into three important types. So let us see what are the three important nerves. So one is afferent. Afferent is important. Please note it down. Afferent are the one that carries messages from you can see that there are three types. Note it down. On the basis of the pathways, nerves are classified into three different types. And what are those three different types? One is efferent, and the one which carries both the information. So let us see what are efferent one. Efferent are one which carries messages towards the central nervous system. So please note it down. And central, what is the central nervous system? Please put the answers in the chat box. Right answer by Aisha. The process center of the body, and it consists of a brain and spinal cord. Very good. So this is a central nervous system. So afferent nerves are the one which carries messages towards the brain and the spinal cord. Very good. Aisha gets points for this. The complex of nerves that controls that. No, that is wrong, Alina. The right answer is, central nervous system is brain and the spinal cord. That constitutes the central nervous system. So these efferent nerves, they carry messages to the central nervous system from nerve ending on the muscles of different sense organs that senses the changes in the surroundings, that stimulates detectors. Yesterday, in the last class you have seen, if a person has put his leg or hand on hot things or on the thorns on some other parts of anything that is injurious and dangerous, they immediately move it. So how is it happening? Supposing if somebody is keeping their legs on the thorns, they immediately get a response. So from the muscles, these afferent nerves, they carry this message to the central nervous system, that is the spinal cord and the brain. So brain immediately give them an order, what action has to be taken. So the leg is removed. That is what is the action that has been taken. That is a response. Stimuli was the thorn, and action was removing the leg. That was the response. So hope you understood what is the action and response. Please post it in the box if you have understood it. What is response and how does, so these afferents are nerves are the one that carries from the nerve ending on the muscles of different sense organs that sense the change in the surrounding, and they are the stimulus detector. They detect the stimuli and transfers it to the central nervous system. Did everybody understood this? Yes or no? If yes, in your own words, please type it in the chat box. What did you understand by the function of afferent nerves? So the answers given in the chat box are wrong. So Aisha wants me to explain about the stimuli again. See, what do you mean by stimuli? These afferent, we are talking about the afferent nerves that senses your surroundings and detects. They are called as the stimuli detectors. For example, if you are keeping your hand on any hot object, you immediately remove your hand. So how do you remove your hand? So all these processes happening in a fraction of seconds. And in this fraction of seconds, what is happening actually? You know, these afferent nerves are carrying messages that there is something hot over there which is injurious for the body, and then the brain is giving an order to remove the hand. So you are doing it in the fraction of seconds and you don't realize and analyze that this all is happening because of the nervous system involved with the afferent and the efferent nerves that is understanding it. So here, what is the stimulus? Stimulus is an hot object. Okay, and response is removing your hand from there. So now, did you understand what is stimulus and response? Say yes or no. So Aisha has given a right answer. Its primary function of the afferent nerve is to transmit the sensory impulses from the organs to like the body surface to the and the muscles to the central nervous system. Yes, it detects the stimuli. So Aisha gets 1 mark for it. And so you understood how this afferent. So it is a stimulus. It detects the stimulus, afferent nerves. Then you see that these are also called as the sensory nerves. We also called afferent nerves as sensory nerves, or there are the 3 names you can give. You note it down. Afferent nerves are also called as sensory nerves or the stimulus detectors. And the second type of nerves are called as the efferent nerves or the efferent neurons. So what is the function of efferent neurons? So efferent neurons, this carry messages from the central nervous system, the parts that shall carry out the response or the effectors. They are also called as the motor nerves. So what is happening is this efferent nerves, when they carry the stimulus, senses the stimulus and passes on the message to the central nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord. So now this central nervous system, from central nervous system, what action has to be taken? What response the body part or the muscle has to take at that time is transferred by efferent or motor nerves, or the you call it as an efferent neurons. Afferent and efferent. Afferent are the stimuli detectors. Efferents are the one who takes an action, that is to the response. So please note it down. And now my question is, can you please mention the nerve that detects the stimuli and the nerve that gives the response? Which nerve detects the stimuli and which nerve gives the response? Type it into the chat box, the right nerves. Very good, Umesh. Umesh gets 1 point for it again. So efferent nerve detects the stimuli and the efferent nerve gives the response. Very good. So now let us see how these motor nerves or the efferent nerves carry out these actions, and together how are these actions being received. And now there is an association of all these nerves. They are linked together. Both, until and unless this efferent and afferent are linked together, you will not be able to get any responses. So now you can just see how this entire cycle works, and you have to draw these association nerves. What are they doing is, these afferent nerves, as soon as they senses the stimuli, they pass us on to the brain or the spinal cord. And this from brain and the spinal cord, these efferent nerves carries these messages to the muscles and the organs to take an action. So this is how this cycle continues. So draw this diagram quickly and post it in the WhatsApp group, and whoever posts this first is going to get 5 marks. Post all these pictures into the WhatsApp group and the score also. So we'll meet again tomorrow from here. So please go through the videos and all the notes that you have copied it down, written it, refer your books, and as well as search few more contents that are available on the net or in your books. Go read your books. I would advise you to better read your books and come prepared. Then only you'll be able to understand tomorrow's session. So all the very best. See you all tomorrow. Take care. We'll join exactly at 3:30 tomorrow.